Welcome back to Jam TV. I am Dan Mellins-Cohen and we are here at RetailJam 2024, where amongst all the various things going on, what they have here are a number of industry storytellers to talk about what's been going on in their world and the solutions they've come up with in various aspects of retail. One of those, of course, is the customer experience, or CX. So who better to tell us their story than Emilie Maunoury from Clarins, the commercial director, no less. Welcome to the show. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks, Dan.
So how about we kick off with a little introduction to yourself and then maybe tell us a bit about the story that you're going to be telling later on.
Of course. So I have been at Clarins for the last 13 years. Started in the digital world, e-commerce, that I've just left to become the commercial director.
Congratulations.
Thank you. So I'll be focusing today on my previous life and all the good things we've done with data and digital.
So tell me, what are some of the things you've been doing with data?
So we've been collecting data, the famous first-party data, and we've been doing that for years through our clienteling app in stores. But there was a point where we're only using it to be, sending personalized communications to our customers, but we were not using that data to get some insights in our consumers and their purchasing behaviors. So there was only one side of the story. So as a consumer, the good thing is, you give us your data and we tend to send you relevant information about relevant products, because if you are 25, you don't want to be receiving information about a menopausal cream. But at the same time, we need to know more about what's going on, in store. So I think the big step change for us was when we hired, after long negotiations, a business data analyst that could look into that data, that lake, the lake you go fishing into, as we were talking earlier on stage. So it's okay, what is it that I want to know? What is the shopper in Boots? How is he different, or is she different from the person who purchased in John Lewis? How is this range recruiting versus that range? What is my sampling strategy? I'm giving you 3 samples. What is converting? Should I be sampling product A or product B? So all of these questions, at last, we've been able to answer.
Amazing, because I was going to dive into that, because while I may not be an aficionado of the Clarins counter, various people in my life absolutely are and have told me very excitedly about it. That must generate huge amounts of data, like personal user data. How do you go about capturing things like what samples you've given to who and things like that? And then how do you tie that back into a sort of a broader strategic development?
So how do we do that? We have a really nice tool that each of our beauty coach uses. It's a clienteling app on an iPad. So you come, you visit, we know roughly your age, we know what your skin looks like, and we scan every single product that you purchase or that we sample to you. So we managed to then say, okay, Mrs. X has been sampled this, she's purchased that, but when Mrs. X comes back, then if she does purchase a product that she has been sampled, we know the conversion rate of the sample. So it's a key, it's a really good way to understand what works and what drives, what recruits. It has also helped us, I think, define some retailer-specific strategies, because you might see that the mix of product you sell in a store is not the same as another store, and therefore you might not be negotiating the same support with that retail partner. So we might go with one more heavy on makeup, with another one we might be more heavy on skincare. We might go with an exclusive with that one versus another exclusive with that. So it's tailoring and making sure we have a bit more of a refined strategy per channel and per retail partner.
One of the things you were talking about before was also how these new customer experience developments are actually affecting the back end of the services that you're working on.
It does. I think, as you were saying, it's a lot of data that we ingest that we can then question, but it's also everything that is automated. But it's because we are a wholesale and a DTC brand, the wholesale data tends to stay in wholesale, and we really leverage that to maximize the business we do with our retail partners. Our DTC data and all our .com customers actually serves then the automation on our website You know, it might recommend to you the right product, it might analyze, it might, you know, automatically add to your cart the promo code that you're eligible to. So that is the back-end piece, I'd say, which is a bit different from the rest, where offline it is really used to tailor the communication and then give insights for mid-long-term strategies.
With you. So one of the things that's been coming up across the day so far, and indeed across the past couple of years, is of course AI.
I knew you would say that.
Of course, we have to. It's part of the conversation and very much the elephant in the room. But it's also full of a hell of a lot of hype. Yeah, a lot of it is misunderstanding. A lot of it is people trying to sell a platform which maybe isn't necessarily capable of delivering all the things that it appears to be capable of. It sounds like you've been through quite an experience with AI technologies. I was going to phrase it differently, but do tell me more.
Everyone has AI in their solution these days, for sure. Is it really AI? I don't think so. It's some intelligence behind it, for sure.
Agreed.
I think what the hype at the moment is all about generative AI, and the team is super excited about it, literally. So how can we implement it? What can we do with it? And I wouldn't say we jumped on the bandwagon, but we went on to exploring how we could support our SEO strategy. Thinking this is super, you know, time consuming. There's so much to write, to create. So what if, you know, someone could do that for us? And yeah, we tried. You know, the prompts seemed to be right and everything, and then the copy that comes out of it is just not with the right tone of voice. And you need to be really, really careful, because with skincare, we have promises, you know, there are things you can say, you know, things that you can't really say. So if AI suggests to be a bit more efficient, a bit more salesy, they might actually transform the claim in something that we are not allowed to say. So those things where you think, oh, that's super easy. No, it's not, because it has to be extremely precise. So what seemed like a really good idea and low-hanging fruit is actually a nightmare.
Absolutely. I think it's one of the key problems is people misunderstanding what it's actually doing. The way I've been referring to a lot of people, it's a people-pleasing engine. Yeah. And so it's just trying to find what it thinks will make you happy, not what is actually the correct answer. And as you rightly said, for something where you're dealing with something that is basically medical, essentially, with like skincare, you've got to be very careful about what you say.
So maybe it's the, you know, consumer-facing part. We're not there yet.
But how are you deploying it all on the back end to make more strategic decisions?
We're looking into it. Yes. I think, are we really there yet? No. I think there's a bit of AI behind some of the tools we use, but I wouldn't say to the extent that you could imagine. So there's the good thing is, you know, there's more to look out for. But yeah, I think we went too quick for the consumer-facing solutions.
I think you're absolutely right. But on that note, then, what do you think then is going to be coming down the line in terms of customer experience? Not specifically AI, but for Clarins, what's next on the strategy?
I think it's more. We went, funny enough, when it was COVID, we went really heavy on bringing the service and the real life experience online. So bringing whatever was really making us different in store, bringing that experience online, so that you could speak to someone online. You could, you know, had a video discussion showing your skin. I think now people are ready to also have, if they want to, the tech. So the AI is more in, you know, analyzing your skin on the screen. So how can we have that online, but also in store? It's those diagnostic tools that become really, really precise. And I think that's the way forward.
Amazing. Well, I could carry on talking about this for ages, but unfortunately our time is up. So Emilie, thank you so much for sitting and speaking with us today. It's been absolutely fascinating. And indeed, enjoy the rest of Retail Jam.
I will.
It sounds like our cue to leave, so don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next show.
Thank
Cheers.
you.